Hey everybody, it's Bradley Sutton from Helium 10, and I've got with me.
Hello, hello, Matt Benton here.
All right, we're here with another Helium 10 AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything. And we got tons of questions. It's kind of incredible. I had mentioned last time how I was so happy that we got like 10, 15 new questions. And between last Thursday and today, we got like 60 new questions. So we've got a lot of material that we want to cover. We're going to try and get to as many questions as we can, and we'll also get to those that you guys post here on the Facebook comments. If we can't get to those here, we're going to actually go into the Facebook comments after the event and get to those as well. But first of all, I wanted to mention that we just came out with a new ebook. Matt, what was the ebook called? I forgot the title like right now. Seller Secrets, right?
Yep. Amazon Seller Secrets Revealed Volume 1.
Yes, volume 1. And what we do there, actually, Matt had gone out and interviewed a lot of top sellers and people in the industry to get some of their seller secrets, so that those of you who are just starting, or maybe you're already selling on Amazon, you want to find out more things of what the top guys are doing. It's a compiled interview with a lot of good questions that they answer and go into. So if you want your free copy of that book, we have a link that's right inside the description of this video here. So after the video, just go click into that link, and using that link, you'll be able to get your free book. All right, so let's get right into the questions here. Let's start off with a question from Oren. He says, I have a listing with variations that have been generating a few sales a day for the past 6 months. When you use the CPR method, do you focus on keywords specifically for the variations or not? And that's a great question. I'm going to go ahead and go into a screen share here. All right, so this is something that a lot of people are concerned about when they have variations. They're like, how do I use the CPR method to target? So I'm just here in a variation for looks like a tempered glass, and this is the storefront of this tempered glass company. Now, if you look here, I typed in Dome Glass Galaxy S9 Plus, and these are the results that came up. Now, if you looked to this product here, this product here, this product down here, these are not in a variation. This is for an S9. I searched for S9 Plus. This is for an S8 Plus. This is for an S8. So I'm not even worrying about those. This is the only one that came up for Galaxy S9 Plus. Now, if I'm going to click in this listing, you'll see that it's part of a variation. That means there's 3 ones here. These are 3 unique ASINs. But when you search for it, either in a storefront or on Amazon, Amazon is only going to give you one of these results. Only one is going to get the result. And if you want to go to one of the other products, you actually have to click on it. So one thing to be very careful about when you're using the CPR method or trying to launch a product, just really quick again, we talk about it every time, but I know there's some new viewers. CPR means what, Matt?
Cerebro Product Rank.
All right, Cerebro Product Rank. And what does that number mean or do? How can people use that?
So that's going to be the giveaway numbers per each keyword to rank on page 1.
Yes. So we have that in our Helium 10 tool. You can see it in Magnet. You can see it in Cerebro. So if you have that CPR number, you say, hey, I want to rank for this keyword. I want to get on page 1. I need to give away 100 units, but I have a variation. So you've got to make sure that the ASIN that you're choosing, or the child item that you're choosing, is the one that Amazon is already displaying for that, because Amazon will give you only one result based on organically what organic customers have already been choosing to buy for that keyword. All right. Because if you were to target another ASIN, like let's say you were going to target this, what is this here? 2-pack Dome Glass. Well, your customers aren't going to get to it because Amazon is showing them the single pack. So just keep that in mind when using CPR with a variation, that Amazon already chooses one for you. So thank you for that question, Oren. We got another question here from Hector. He says, once I launch a CPR campaign, do you have some way to measure how much stock I must have of the product to be able to respond to the sales? Matt, you want to help Hector out here?
Yeah, Hector, that's a good question. And a good problem to have. So the way you're going to want to do this, it's on a case-by-case basis, right? So CPR says that you must give away in total 100 units to launch on page 1. Well, you're going to want to also see what those folks on page 1 are selling. So if you open up our extension, the Helium 10 Chrome extension, if you click on X-Ray, X-Ray is actually going to show you a very, very close estimate of what those folks are selling per month. So you'll probably want to look and see what those folks are selling per month and make sure that you can cover that, because you want to think about when you're launching the best case scenario. So if you do in fact end up on page one and you stick there because you've got a well-optimized listing with good photos, good keywords, your price is dialed in and everything else, and you're raking in organic sales, you want to make sure that you can sustain those sales and you have enough inventory to cover yourself. So again, if folks on page one are selling, say, I don't know, what's a good number, 300 units per month, you want to make sure that you can at least cover those 300 units per month and then more. Again, this will probably depend on your turnaround time with your manufacturer and a bunch of different things. So that's why I say it's a case-by-case basis. So you probably want to plan in this case, to answer your question, on the best case scenario.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I've done. And, I've launched over 450 products in the last year, and I would always do that thing. You don't want to run out in the middle of a launch. So at the same time, you don't want to have so much inventory that's just going to be sitting there. So it's kind of a case-by-case basis, but there's no actual tool that will just, tell you how much you need. It's kind of up to you to use the data that we show you to analyze that. So thank you, Hector, for that question. Now we have Natalia says, please clarify the CPR method. A lot of CPR questions today. Please clarify the CPR method for a product without any reviews. Does it make sense to give away about 10 products just to get reviews first, wait a few days while customer testing the product, get reviews, afterwards start the launch plan using the CPR method? Okay, so should you launch a product basically without reviews? And honestly, I never have. I just don't think you think about it as a customer. When you're searching for something and then you're on page one and you see the top 5 listings, maybe one has 100 reviews, 5 stars, one has 200 reviews, one has 2,000 reviews, and all of a sudden you see this product that has 0 reviews. Like as a consumer, which one would you go for if the price was all the same? Unless there's big problems with the images, you'd probably go for one of the ones that has, some reviews. And I don't know if there's a real magic number, how many reviews. You mentioned about, 10 reviews. In my experience, that actually works good. One of my friends, Anthony, I think, did a blog about where they did some extensive testing, and they found about 10 to 12 reviews is a good number where psychologically people will click that, where it doesn't make much of a difference between 10 or 12 and like 50 or something like that. But between 10 and 0 or 1, then that's a pretty big difference. So just try and put yourself in your customer's shoes and think, hey, would I click on this or would I buy this without any reviews? And probably the answer is no, unless you're the first one in a product niche. So that's what you mentioned is definitely a good habit, to try and get maybe 10 reviews first before using the CPR method and launching. All right, we've got another question here from Alex. He has 2 questions here. Does the 2-step Amazon link still work for Facebook ads? And should I close the listing if I'm out of inventory?
Alex, thank you for the question. The 2-step URL definitely still works. Saw some comments come in here through Facebook today. Was it Craig that was asking? I think might have been Craig. Craig, yes, it definitely still works. What you want to do, Alex, is go to helium10.com/gems and make sure you're using the correct 2-step URL. Facebook ads is actually how we recommend best using the CPR launch. So if you find you go into Cerebro or Magnet in Helium 10, the keyword research tools, both tools will show you the CPR giveaway numbers recommended to launch to page 1. And from there, with CPR, we do recommend that you use Facebook ads with it. I hope that answers your question.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex. Question still.
I missed
yes, that's right. He asked another question.
I missed the tail end of that, Alex. So, and yes, you definitely do want to close your listing when you run out of inventory, just to preserve your sales history. So in Amazon's eyes, when you close your listing, it kind of cuts off the very end of how you were selling. So say you were selling super, super well, and then you close your listing, it almost acts to preserve the rank. So this was something that Manny found out in the past, maybe a year or so ago. and post it in the groups about. So you definitely want to close your listing right when you run out of inventory.
Yep. So thank you, Alex, for those 2 questions. Now Barkus asked, why does Helium 10 give a value of 0 in broad and exact search volume sometimes? And how often is that data updated? I've noticed that too. And the first thing, this was months ago when before I work here, since like I said, I launched a lot of products, and I wondered about that. And I actually had other tools, and they also said 0. Now, the one thing that we don't do is we don't guess on numbers. All of our numbers are based on actual Amazon data and what Amazon gives us. And sometimes Amazon gives us that 0. And now we know that that's probably not true, but we're not going to guess what it is. If Amazon gives us a number, that's the number we've got to go with. So there are some glitches on Amazon side where it'll show that, and you'll also see that in other tools because they're probably tied to Amazon too. So one thing that you can be guaranteed that we're not going to do is just try and throw some random number out there based off an estimate. No, we only base our stuff off of the Amazon numbers. And he had another, how often is that data updated? It varies, but if you actually notice on Cerebro, on the right-hand column, it shows when that information was taken. It can be, says like within 1 to 7 days, or it can be from 7 to 30 days. So you have an idea of how fresh that information is when you're using Cerebro. So thank you, Barkus, for that. We have a question from Sean now. Does Helium 10 have a tool that illustrates actual unit sales and revenue sales for longer than 90 days? I'm trying to identify products that have been successful for over 90 days. Matt?
Yeah, good question. Bradley, can you open up X-Ray real quick?
Yep, X-Ray tactical flashlight. Let me go open up X-Ray. Here we go.
So what you'll want to do is, give me 1 second. Let me read your question once more.
Okay.
What you'll want to do is, it illustrates actual sales greater than 90 days. So yes, absolutely. This is what X-Ray is for. You'll open up X-Ray in the Helium 10 Chrome extension to view estimated sales data. Again, our estimates we've seen are the most close. You will find ASINs that are different here and there with every single tool. But this is where you're going to go in and view close estimates of what the actual sales numbers are. And if you click the graph there on sales, Bradley, you can actually see 30, 90 days, full year. And what you'll do is you'll go in here and see trending data, changes in sales price, and how the product was selling over time.
There you go for 1 year. Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
This actually is helpful. And you look, like I'm going here and I can see on September 7th, 2017, their estimated sales was around 618. So that's pretty interesting right there. You can go back and see that they had dips and valleys, and this might help you, especially if you're looking at a seasonal product, or you want to know if something's seasonal, or want to know if something did well around Prime Day. Like, let's see, Prime Day was around here. Oh, this guy might have been out of stock on Prime Day because his sales was pretty low. But using X-Ray, you can do that. And let's go ahead. Is anything else? Oh, Sean had some other questions, but we got to give other people a chance. So Sean had like 7 questions here. We're going to get to those over the next few weeks.
Sean, thanks for those. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see. Another one here from Ryan. Someone told me that the ASIN plus keyword for index checking doesn't work anymore. Does that mean that the 5K checker isn't working anymore either? And what he's talking about here is if you can see if a product is indexed, you type in the traditional ways, you type in an ASIN plus a keyword. Let me get off the screen here. An ASIN plus the keyword, and then you can see if it's indexed or not. And there have been other indexing issues that have come up. The ASIN plus keyword still works a lot of the times if you're just manually searching. But yeah, there are a few times it doesn't work. But we talked about this in our last episode. Manny had posted in April about some indexing changes that were happening, such as that you can even now rank for products that you're not indexed for. And he had talked about it in the Facebook group before. So we're aware of all the changes. And I've been checking on my personal one. There was some big issues last week on something that happened on Amazon side that were screwing up rankings and indexing for everything. But since then, I have tried it on all my products in the 5K checker. Everything's working great. And like I said, we knew about this, some changes that were happening with the indexing months ago. And that kind of goes actually along with this question that Bruckner had. He said Amazon lately has a lot of changes. Was Helium affected? And I'm assuming he's maybe talking about, those indexing issues. And again, we try and stay ahead of what's going to happen. We don't know everything ahead of time, what's going to happen. The indexing we knew about months ago. But for example, what was it, last week or the week, or no, it was a couple of weeks ago, how the in the back end, the search terms, right? You remember what happened with that? I think it went like from 5 to 1 or something like that, where there was like 5 lines, and now all of a sudden you have 1 line. We had no idea that was going to happen, but as soon as we saw it, boom, our developers were in there. And if you look at Scribbles, which is the tool that we use to help you write your listings, we went, the next day from 5 lines to only 1. So sometimes, we know about things as it happens. Sometimes just, after it happens, we'll go ahead and adjust. But we try and make sure, to keep our reputation up as the most reliable, tool out there and the best value. So one way we can do that is by keeping abreast of these changes. But if you notice some big change that maybe we haven't adjusted for, please let us know, and we'd appreciate that. A question from Jonathan: do you guys teach proper product sourcing? From Helium 10, did we do that?
Sure, I'll take it. Jonathan, thanks for your question. The best thing I can say is start with Freedom Ticket. It's like our beginner Amazon selling course. Kevin King goes through everything you need to know and more. So I would start with Freedom Ticket, and yeah, you'll be way ahead of other folks.
All right, cool. We are blowing by these questions here. So we got, 2 more. We'll do 2 more. I got one from Andre. He says, can I use Helium 10 for merch by Amazon? And when he gave that question, I honestly didn't know the answer. But 2 years ago, I was fooling around and I made a merch by Amazon shirt. You can see here, I love Korean barbecue because I love Korean barbecue. And if you look here, first of all, our X-ray, or our Chrome plugin, I should say, is showing all of the data here. These are merch shirts, and X-ray is working here. I almost do no sales, so that's accurate. My BSR is 4 million. That's accurate. Just to test, I checked one of our tools. Let's see here, for example, 5K checker to see if something is indexed. What you do is you type in the ASIN here, and then you want to see if Korean barbecue is indexed. So let's see. 5K checker is working. And look, it says keywords index, Korean barbecue. So yes, this merch, Andre merch by Amazon, you could use it. You could probably use it for Cerebro if you're examining niches or examining certain your competitors' products. You can use it with Magnet if you're examining the niches. So go ahead and use it for merch by Amazon and make a cool shirt like I love Korean barbecue. Let's see. I think we have time for one more. Feel free to buy that, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to buy it. Nobody buys it. I think I've sold like 1 in 1 year. One more question. Let's pick one. Which one, Matt? This one?
Michael.
Okay. Michael says, I just purchased the Pro plan. Now X-ray is not available. Uh-oh. And I also wonder why your black box screen is different than mine and seems more user-friendly.
Got it. Michael, thank you. The best thing I can say here is, 1, make sure you're on you're using Chrome for 1, and then that you're using X-ray or the Helium 10 Chrome extension X-ray inside of that on a product results page or Amazon results page, or what did we cover last week? The bestsellers page. It now works. So I would make sure you're using it on the right pages. If all else fails, make sure you have the correct version. Today is August 21st. So I would make sure you're using version 3.3.3. If not, email support@helium10.com, and those guys will help you out pretty quick. Thanks for jumping on board, and hope you like X-ray.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michael. And thanks to the rest of you guys. We still have tons of questions, and we see a lot of you guys, posting comments here. Jacob, how's it going? Craig, John, Ida, Jeremy, Asuncion, Ankit, Abraham. Oh my goodness, we have some of the most viewers we've had, so we really appreciate the support, guys. By the way, if you're not getting your questions answered because we have such a backlog, guess what? You're going to have an opportunity to ask us and even Manny in person. How can they do that?
What's the date?
September 7th.
September 7th. Helium 10 is having our first ever social. So it's a little bit more than a meetup. We're coming together from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. All Helium 10 users and some other folks who jump on board. for a social right across the street where we're going to be networking, eating food, drinking,
Open bar, guys.
sharing strategies,
Open bar.
sharing strategies, hacks, whatever you name it, and having a lot of fun.
Open bar.
So what's the date again?
September 7th from 6 to 10 p.m. right across the street from this office in Irvine, California. So guys, if you are not a Helium 10, if you're a Helium 10 diamond or platinum, they should have gotten an email by now with a link to have a discount. Those of you who are Helium 10 diamond or platinum members, you get $297 off on that. Please check our group page. We have some posts on it. Manny gave a video about it, or just, make a message down here and we'll get with you and answer those questions. But we'd really love to meet some of you guys in person, put some faces behind the names that we see here on Facebook, and you can bombard us with questions for up to 4 hours during the open bar. All right. Anyways, that's it for it. We went a little overtime today, and we're going to be right back here on Thursday. We might even do one tomorrow. I don't know. We have so many questions. If Matt's available, I might try and get him on one tomorrow. So we'll let you guys know if we do one tomorrow. But for sure, Thursday at 3 p.m., we'll do another AMA and try and get to some of the more of these questions. Any last words of wisdom for everybody out here?
No, that's it. Thank you, and see you Thursday.
Keep on crushing it, guys. See you guys.